And I know one of the reasons is the songs themselves.
I really do think it is the songs, because without the songs, everything else would just fall apart. The attitude and, we do what we want, it kind of big deal. If no one liked the songs, it wouldn't really, I wouldn't be sitting here talking. It wouldn't make any sense. But I think there is a side to it. It isn't just the songs. There is a side to it that's the people that I talk to that like the group are often just like the idea of a group like The Cure being there, because it shows that you can do things in your own way, and we kind of represent, just like saying, well, you don't have to do it that way. You can do it your own way and still be successful. And it's it wasn't the point of the group, and it never has been and never will be, to be successful. But the point of the group has always been so that I can do what I want. And I think people just like that.
This was written about you from Melody Maker in 1990. I think it's kind of interesting. He's managed the metamorphosis from emotional victim to emotional enigma. He's either very, very clever or very, very lucky.
There's a huge amount of theatricality in what we do, and some of it's like missed by people, and not because they don't get it. I mean, it's just like not that obvious. But there is an awful lot of what we do that's kind of there for people to be entertained by. It's to be consumed by other people. That's why we make records. That's why we make videos. It's kind of, if I just wanted to do it for my own gratification, we wouldn't make records and we wouldn't make videos. We just I'd sit in a room with my friends and play music, which I do. But there's a side of what we do that is for public consumption. And within that, I try sometimes maybe to expand on what I've already got, and I try to make it more and just make it more entertaining. I never think about what I do in those terms anyway. Some of the songs are really honest and some of them aren't, but it doesn't,
Another problem with that quote is the actual word enigma too, I think. It almost...
Yeah, because it's the very people that are writing that actually have created the mystique that surrounds me and the group. And that, when I meet people, they want me to kind of be wandering about, holding a candle with a book, Baudelaire in the other hand, and mist around my feet. And they sort of think, oh no, it's not like that at all, and get very disappointed. But I've never, ever built that out myself. I'm not responsible for that character that's been developed.
And especially the whole Gloom thing, I've been a Cure fan for years, and I could think of 3.5 records, maybe, and for some reason it is still there.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, that side of things. It's like, I mean, we've still got it. It's mainly in the British press, and it kind of filters out from there. And it's really a laziness that, when this came out, one of the reviews, I think, the Melody Maker, in fact, and the NME, was still quintessentially a goth band. I think, for sake, come on. I don't think I'll ever have a block on writing music, because it's something that I just find very, very natural. When I sit down at a piano or I pick up a guitar, if I'm in the mood, I kind of just think of something, and I never analyse that. I never think is this going to work? Because it either works or it doesn't. And that's the thing about music. You can't work on it too much. The idea is either there and it's good, and then you kind of enhance it, or it isn't there. And the problem I think with most people who make records is they haven't got the ideas there in the first place. So it doesn't matter how much gloss you put on it, you're kind of like shining coal. It just never works. Can you shine coal? I don't know where that came from.
If you do it, well, it becomes a diamond or something.
Yeah, I was going to say,
if you do it long enough.
A terrible analogy, that was. I like what we do to have, if people have bothered to kind of go a step further, then there is something there to find. It's but I don't have this pretentious, kind of precious notion of what I do as being art. But I mean, if we do something, I want it to kind of to excite people, and for there to be something there if they want to go and look for it. But if they don't, then it should also kind of work on a very simplistic level, which is, I think, probably the reason why we've succeeded is because there are tunes, is what I'm saying.
Because...
Well, I mean, musically what we do, a lot of what we do, is accessible. You can whistle it, But there's also a side to the group that's kind of that people, if they're not prepared to take a step, just kind of think, well, they're a bit weird. That's not really for me. But I like that. That kind of reflects the group.
And I'm just wondering if, when you sit back and look at the whole thing, can you think of it in that sense? Because I know you're still doing it. And I think when you think of anniversaries, it's almost too difficult to step outside of it to look at it as that big.
Yeah, it's strange to say, because it is being brought up more and more frequently. What are we going to do? And that's part of me is tempted to just not to mark it, because I can, it's not really that big a deal. because it doesn't feel like, I mean, it isn't the same group. There's been like five, maybe more groups called The Cure. Not being glib, but like they've been so different. I don't kind of feel it does mark 20 years of The Cure. It's like 20 years of the name existing. It's 20 years this December since I very first went on stage. I think I'll probably have my own private party, December the 16th. I think we've got a show scheduled actually for Wembley Arena. It's the last date of the year, which is a nice touch. No one actually knows that. I think it's just been done by accident. We're consistently good. Sometimes we hit moments of beauty, and at other times we sink to moments of crassness. But there is like there's something that's always there, and even people there are fans of the band who don't actually like what we do musically, which is probably there's probably very few bands in the world that have fans that don't like what they do musically, and just like what they're just waiting for us to do something they like musically so that they can like enjoy listening to the music, that they just like us being around. And there's also in a strange way people want us to continue to exist, which is sort of worrying because they think if we stop we're kind of like the last band of our generation. It kind of it's like severing the only tie left with like that period of time. A lot of our older fans like us just to keep going at all costs, and I think
there's an awful lot of pressure.
Yeah, although I mean that isn't why I keep going.
Roger was once in The Cure, he left and he came back. So why do you think people return to The Cure?
Because it's a good place to be. It's a fun group to be in. It's the music's good. It's just a really nice, it's like a family. It's like, yeah, that's a good analogy. It's like, you can get fed up with being around your family if you're there too much. And but it's nice to come back to them.
But you love them.
Oh yeah, you love them.
And longtime Cure fans will know Simon from being in The Cure very early on, and then you left, and then you came back.
Yeah, I left for 18 months after an argument, but then I came back and been there since.
Now, The Cure's history is a bit of a revolving door, so what keeps people coming back?
God, without seeming horrible, I hope it's a consistency of the music, and like there's always sort of an ongoing friendship as well.
Yeah. So even when the band's not touring together or not recording an album, you all still keep in touch, you're all friends?
Yeah.
Party together?
I wouldn't say we'd party together, not anymore.
Partied last night, though.
I didn't
No?
go.
Oh.
No, I've mended my ways.
Switch on for another go. For always and ever is always who you. You're just the most gorgeous, stupid thing I ever got to know.
It's an attitude, and the important thing about The Cure has always been if you fit in with that attitude, that just like that outlook, what you want from being in a group. That's why Jason's here. It's like, and people come and go. I mean, like in like nearly 20 years, people's like attitude and their life or what they want from life or what they want from the group they're in is going to change. That's why people come and go. It's really like a big argument and like can't live with you. That kind of people just come and go according to that. And the attitude or the direction The Cure wants to follow has basically been the same, which has a great deal to do with Robert, and because he's like the main songwriter. That is it. If you fit into that, if that's what you feel as well, then you'll go along with that. And if you as a person change, then maybe it's time you go, and that's how it's always going to be.